Hello, everyone. It's Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. Thanks so much for joining me today. It's time for another Tuesday tip video. And today's tip is how to create a really great accordion fold card. And get this, it's a 2-for-1 card. So the way we are going to creatively cut up our cardstock, you're not going to make just one card, you're going to create two. I'm so excited to share these with you. So we're going to jump in and get started.
I do love creating fun folds, but you know what else I love? Creating 2-for-1 fun folds. I mean, hey, if I can get 2 cards out of 1, I say we go for it, right? And that's exactly what we're going to do today with today's cards. Now, you notice here, I'm going to be creating a birthday card and a Christmas card. So you've got lots of opportunities. It's whatever you want to stamp on the front of your card. Now, I always like to make things easy for you. That's always my goal. And so today I've got a free download that goes along with my video so that if you're ready to recreate the 2-for-1 accordion fun fold, you can do that. You're going to have my supply list. You're going to have all my measurements, some photos if you want to check out those to recreate. Need to come back and watch the video? You can scan or click my QR code. And hey, maybe you fall in love with some of the items I used today, then I would love to be your demonstrator. You can click right here to place an order, and that's where you'll see all the supplies that I used on my card today. But bonus time, free diagrams. I want to have you make this card easy peasy double cheesy, and we're going to do that by having a diagram to make sure it is stress-free. This is what we need to create our card. I've got 3 sheets of cardstock, 8.5 by 11. Now you're going to want to choose 2 colors that coordinate and then a neutral color. So I'm going to be using some lemon lime twist and some berry burst with some basic white. I was looking for some really fun, unique, non-traditional Christmas colors. I like to create non-traditional cards, but this could easily be done with your classic red and green, and of course any color combination. Just make it you. All right, let's bring in that diagram and do some cutting. Now, both pieces of cardstock are going to be cut exactly the same. So this diagram is going to work on both of your coordinating colors. And what we want to do is we want to start with the 8.5 inches at the top, and we want to cut it in half at 4.25. So I've got 2 equal pieces, 4.25 by 11. Now with the 11 inches at the top, I want you to cut this in half at 5.5 inches. So we're going to take one of those. That one's ready to go. That's this right here. I'm going to move that off to the side. Now with this extra piece, it says we're going to cut it down to 2.75. So it'll be 2.75 by 5.5, and that's going to leave me a little 1.5 by 5.5. Now let's go ahead and take this piece. We're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to score this we are going to cut first. We're going to cut it to 4.25 by 8.25. That's going to leave me that little 2.75 by 4.25. I'm going to set that off to the side, but now we're ready to do some scoring. Make sure your cutting blade is out of the way because we do want to score. And we want to score this. Again, I've got that 8.25 up at the top, and we want to score at 2.75 and again at 5.5 inches. Now we're going to bring in our other piece of a colored cardstock, and we're going to repeat this. All right, let's do a little cutting on the basic white. Now, I don't have a diagram for this one, but don't worry, I don't think you can really mess this one up. We are going to cut this down to 5.25. So I've got the 11 inches up at the top. We're going to cut that to 5.25, and then we're going to rotate that around, and we need 2 pieces that are 2.5 inches. So 2.5 by 5.25. Now I'm going to take what's remaining. I'm going to cut it down to 5 inches. All right, so we have 5 inches by 8.5. Again, now we have the 5 inches at the top. We're going to cut that in half at 2.5. Guys, there's no right or wrong to my measurements here, so you can cut that basic white any way you want, but basically what we need are 4 pieces that are 4 inches by 2.5 inches. You're going to have some left over, and we will be using that to do some punching. All right, I kind of have everything laid out because I want you to see how this is going to go together. Remember, it's a 2-for-1 card. So we're going to start with the back of the base. All right, so this is the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now let's take these pieces and let's go opposite. All right, this is the accordion fold that's going to go in the middle. So we want to reverse those. We're going to need 2 pieces of the basic white for each of those. And then we have these pieces here. Remember, these were the basic whites. This we want to match here. This we want to match here. Don't worry, you'll figure it out when you get going. But I'll tell you what, we're going to start with this card. We're going to create a birthday card first, and that's going to feature the heartfelt hexagon bundle. So we've got this fantastic punch that goes along with the stamp set. Now, friends, any stamp set's going to work. I just think this one is really fun. The Let's Eat Cake. Look, we have little flowers. We've got little outlines for a punch. It's going to be a fabulous one. I'm actually going to bring in this little leaf and a lemon lime twist ink pad. Now, I am going to stamp this little leaf all around the edges of my cardstock. Now, the middle of this is going to have that accordion fold in it, so I really can kind of stick to the outside. I'm going to bring in just a little. You know, I don't want anything to kind of have what I like to call those bald spots. I don't like that. But you can see we can just fill in with our leaves. Now we're going to take that accordion fold, and you want the flat area to go here because this is the way our card's going to open. So let's put some adhesive here. I'm going to go ahead and accordion fold mine, but we want to add that right here to the center of our card. All right, we got things going. While we're here, we're going to go ahead and add this top portion. And you can see it's just going to adhere right onto this flap. All right, so that's the only place we want adhesive. And I think you can kind of see when this piece is lined up right here, how much of the berry burst is going to show. That'll kind of give me an idea of where to put my adhesive. But as long as we get it right there, I can now line up on all 3 sides, line up that other piece of cardstock. That's the beginning of my fun fold. All right, now let's create that focal image on the front. I'm going to bring in a Memento Black, and there's this great little corner piece here in the stamp set. And I just really want to make this image just have a really nice, fun color combination. So we're going to add those there. I'm going to come back in with the lemon lime twist. Let's randomly put some leaves here. By the way, we're going to have a focal image there in the middle, so you don't need to get too worried about that. I think I'll stop right there. And now for a berry burst ink pad, and we're going to add some nice, ooh, I didn't stamp that very good, did I? Let's maybe pay attention a little more. All right, let's stamp some flowers all around. I am just not having a good focus day, am I? Look at that. All right, we are going to take this. This will adhere onto that front panel. Just center that up from side to side. Okay, we're getting there, guys. That's what we have so far. Let's create our focal image here on the front. Remember you had some basic white left over? Yep, we're ready to use that. I'm going to bring this Memento Black ink back in, and I'm going to use one of the outlines for my hexagon punch. Now I'm going to bring this down here at the bottom. I'm going to stamp another one of those little decorative stamps right there. And then in my berry burst, we're going to say, let's eat cake. Let's eat cake. It's always the right time for cake. I love this border, but I wanted it to be colored. You can use your Stampin' Blends, you can use your Stampin' Right markers, or you can leave it plain. Either way, but I'm going to use my Lemon Lime Twist marker just to kind of bring in some more of that color. Now we can bring in our punch, and we've got a fabulous focal image. Hey, while we've got this out, remember the little leftover piece that was a 2 3/4 by 4 1/4? I'm going to have you take that and punch out 2 of your hexagon punches. You're going to cut 1 short ways and 1 long ways. I've placed adhesive on those, and look what we're going to do. We're going to play a little game called Stretch the Punch. So I'm going to start with the long pieces, and you see you can kind of decide how much you want to stretch and add a border to the punch. I've done that one, and now look, we'll just add this to the other side. On the back, you're going to notice there's a little hole. That's fine. That's exactly what we need it to do. Let's add that to the center of our card. Okay, looking good. Let's do a little stamping here on the inside. Just like we did before, let's add our little corner pieces. Then I'm going to take the stamp that says, I hope your day is filled with joy. Perfect sentiment because it goes with so many different sentiments, right? Any day we want to be filled with joy. Just like we did there on the front, we're going to add some of our leaves and our flowers. We'll add that one there on the left. This one is going to be for your message, so I'm going to leave it blank. We're going to add one more little piece of awesomeness, and that is some black and white gingham ribbon. Let's really bring out that gorgeous pop of the black. When I tie my bows, I tend to leave it on the spool. I kind of save my ribbon that way. So let's give this a quick bow. And there we go. Card number 1 is done. I'm going to go ahead and show you just some tips and tricks on creating the second card.
Don't forget about that free download that I have for you. Remember, it comes with that diagram. I want you to have this. You can find it at simplysimplestamping.com or look down in the YouTube description. It'll give you a direct link how to go to today's post and find that.
As I said, this one's going to be a Christmas card, and we're going to use the Festive and Fun stamp set. I thought this tall giraffe just looked like she was just meant to fit in that piece of cardstock. Yeah, it fits really well. So we did things a little bit different on this card. So I'm going to open this up because I want you to notice how I did some dry embossing here and here. I just wanted to kind of change it up a little bit. And I did that with the Snowfall Sky embossing folder. So we're going to place that inside the embossing folder. By the way, this is a kind of a graduated folder. So I want to keep it down here at the bottom because I want to get a lot of that embossing. I'm going to run that through my die cutting and embossing machine. And while I'm over there, I'm going to take one of the 2.5 by 4 pieces of basic white. We're going to run that through as well. So tips and tricks. So when I go to adhere this piece of, this is the accordion fold, I went very heavy on the adhesive because I've got all this embossed cardstock, which means I've got a little lumpy bumpy underneath me. So I want to make sure that my card sticks very well with all of that going on underneath me. So remember, we want to make sure our card is opening correctly. I'm actually going to turn that over, give it a little back rub. I'll add adhesive down the accordion panel, line up the front. Now we can do our stamping. So I'm going to stamp in that Memento black ink again. Let's ink up our sweet little giraffe. She'll go right down here. Now my sentiment says Happy Christmas Wishes, but look, it won't fit. Won't fit. So I only want to say Christmas wishes. How about I give you the quick and easy? See the word happy? I'm going to put a piece of Scotch tape because I can see through Scotch tape, and I'm going to put that right there. Now, when I go to ink this, ooh, ink all over that Scotch tape, boom, I'm going to take that Christmas wishes and stamp just Christmas wishes right here at the top. I use my Stampin' Blends to color in my giraffe. I use the Lemon Lime Twist, the Pecan Pie, and the Berry Burst, and for the giraffe, a little Daffodil Delight. And then I thought I'll just show you what I did here on the inside. There's that wonderful piece of white embossed cardstock. I stamped a little something for you with lots of love for me and the little bird from that stamp set. Here I chose a different color and a different style of ribbon. I chose the Sweet Sorbet metallic ribbon. Doesn't that look fun and festive? And again, we've got those great snowflakes in the background. But remember what we talked about at the beginning. Friends, this image, whatever you stamp here, can be so many different things. But just remember, pick 2 really great coordinating colors, and you'll always be able to create 2 fun folds in a matter of just minutes.
Thanks so much for being with me today. Have a great day, my friends. See you next time. Bye-bye.